What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So I seen a couple of interviews, and I seen, well, basically video clips, and I've seen, video interview of Gillian White, and I saw a video clip of Anthony Joshua, where basically the landlord is saying he's stepping away from boxing to go into real estate. So, not saying that he shouldn't. That's that man's life. He, do whatever he wants to do. That's his life. Now, in terms of the fight with Dubois, the rematch, and from a boxing perspective, it's like, listen, you would always want to be the guy that beat you, but at the same time, right? You have to want this for yourself. You can't do it for the fans. The fans will get you knocked out. If you step foot in that ring, you can have the heart to get in there, but the desire, people don't understand the difference between the two. See, your passion and your desire to win is more than just having the heart to get in the ring and say, let's fight. It's being able to stick to a game plan. I think Anthony Joshua's boxing maturity is still unbalanced. So it affects his ring IQ. See, because if you look at what he's done, right, and look at what he's been through and how he's come back and looks so solid, then, what did he say about training with Ben Davison? After the Wallin fight, it just clicked. Like that before the fight, actually. He said it after the fight, but what he said is, like, it just clicked, like in training, like what he was supposed to do. And the same thing when he went there with Ngannou, that it just clicked working with Ben Davison. And like I told you guys, losing is also experience gain. It's not just when you win. A lot of people talk a lot of shit about, but you can't have all these different trainers and you can't. Well, he did have all those different trainers, and he wound up looking solid in 2 back-to-back fights after, winning, but looking like, not like the old AJ. And then it's looking like AJ is back, right? But what have I said to you guys when I speak about these fights and I say, well, on paper, or this person should win, okay, seemingly like they should win, but it's a fight-by-fight basis. Every fighter is not really consistent, or they're consistent up to a certain point. So you still have to look at a fighter and understand, if you go by their last performances, right? Well, Daniel Dubois didn't really show you anything to make you think that he would beat AJ. I think a lot of people just don't like that. Like the AJ haters going to say shit that about him from they want him to lose. But when you basically look at where Dubois stands and where AJ stands, AJ still speaks like he lacks confidence. That's part of one of the reasons why it's hard for people to really pinpoint how they see Anthony Joshua, because it's like the ability is there, but the same way how people would say, Dubois is a quitter. Well, here's the thing. He won 2 back-to-back fights where he didn't quit. Who's to say if he gets beat up bad enough again that he won't quit again? You understand what I'm saying? We don't know that. He didn't let it get that far with AJ. And in fact, when AJ cracked him and hurt him, and he started to back up, and AJ lunged in with that lazy-ass uppercut that he threw, and you could telegraph this shit from a mile away, you see what happened, right? Now, with that all being said, for Anthony Joshua, if he is allowing this, him focusing on real estate, so obviously the rematch is not going to happen. Or if it does happen, no time soon. I believe Anthony Joshua wants another title shot. Like I said, I don't like the skipping the line thing. I don't like the popular demand thing. I really don't. But people are going to do it. They're still trying to find, a fight for Deontay. They offered him 2 fights at this Bridgerweight nonsense, weight class. But at the same time, they try to find some way, whether it's, hey, let me put this old line in with the young line. Regardless to what it is, and let's see if we can, either the old line is going to prevail and we can still push him, or the young line is going to prevail, and then we can build him, off of that win. You still have to want to do it for yourself, though. You can't do it for the fans, solely for the fans. People tell you, I love my fans, I'm doing it for y'all. Nah. If you wasn't getting the paycheck, you wouldn't be doing it. You got to do it for you. I just think that with AJ and his situation, I do question his hunger, for sure. The hunger's not the same. The desire's not the same. Now, not saying that he can't multitask and take care of two, but the type of energy and input that it takes to juggle a real estate career and to train and box, it's difficult. It's difficult. And for AJ, I don't think the desire is there. I think he still has the heart. I don't think the hunger, and I don't think the desire is there. I don't think that passion is there. Like he said, even the way he said it, I know I still have the heart. I know I have the heart, right? It's like, is he trying to show himself? You understand what I mean? I think he has the heart, meaning I don't think he's scared to go in there and fight any of those guys. But as far as him being motivated and really wanting to go in there, I don't think that desire, that passion, that hunger is the same. I don't. And the fact that he's investing into this real estate now, not that, and listen, this doesn't mean, oh, I'm scared to fight. Like I said, but he's putting this as a first priority right now. Stepping away from boxing. That was his words. I'm stepping away from boxing for a while to do this real estate. He never said he was retiring. But that's it goes to show you, man, the hunger's not the same. Okay, because at one point boxing was his first priority in terms of things like that, not real estate. So he knows he can't fight forever, so he's setting things up now before he retires. And not that it's not a smart move, because it is. It's just the timing of it with him losing to Dubois. Of course, people are going to look at that and say, he just don't want to fight Dubois again or whatever it may be. But I just think his hunger, his passion, his desire is not what it used to be. And at the end of the day, for him to not want to go right back in there and fight Dubois, to not understand why he lost, and just, I fought stupidly. There's a lot that we can say about that. But for what he's accomplished already, that's that, and nobody can take that from him. But going forward, if you're going to remain in the sport, man, you gotta stay sharp and focused. And stepping away from the sport, yeah, on one hand, it's less wear and tear on your body, but then two, it's also, you're not going to be as sharp coming back. The ring rust will be there. Will you come back into a top spot? Will you be ready? Will you mentally be ready? Will that hunger, that passion, that desire be there? See, and these are the things that, when you get beat like the way he did, and then you're willing to, jump into real estate right away, or you're willing to put your boxing career aside, you got to consider all of those things. And as far as Dillian White goes, Dillian White, call him a weirdo, say he's a weird guy, either he looks really good or he looks really bad. People said the same thing about James Kirkland. He looks either really good or really bad. Basically, what happened with James Kirkland, truthfully, was when he started to step up in competition and fight better opponents that wasn't concerned with how hard he hits, then you see like he was a one-trick pony. And he even said Ann Wolfe was just too hard on him. Her training style was just too hard. So, yeah, he wasn't the guy for her, to be honest with you. That's what that really was. And you see he even left Ann Wolfe, got destroyed on his very first fight without it, and then went right back to her. They said the same thing about Oliver McCall. He looks either really good or really bad. They said the same thing about Hassan Rahman. I've heard different people say those things about those guys. Because either they win and look good winning, or they just lose and look bad losing. And that's pretty much, that's with Anthony Joshua, he just looks unsure of himself as far as I'm concerned in certain fights. So for whatever clicked in him with Ben Davison and being with all those different trainers, that, like I said, it's all experience gained regardless. So what other people, run their mouth and say, when you get in that ring and you train with different people, you even have different sparring partners, different trainers come in on sparring sessions and people don't know about it. So it's not like it's anything new. So learning and adding something to your arsenal, that's a part of what we are. It's not like we're computer programmed, like we can only do what we're programmed to do. Some fighters are more talented than others with that. But AJ's boxing maturity, like I said, to me, is in question of his confidence. You understand what I'm saying? I just don't see why you go in there and fight Dubois the way he fought Dubois. You know what I mean? If he would have went in there and let's say he would have lost a fight that could have went either way, or let's say he legitimately lost but gave a hell of a fight and he, put some real hurt on Dubois as well, and it was just a hell of a fight, that's one thing. But the way he got beat was like, damn, what the hell, man? Like what clicked? when did it unclick? Because you went in there and fought Dubois like you didn't know what the hell you were doing. And of course, Dillian White's going to talk his shit because Dillian White wants a fight with AJ. He wants a fight with Wilder. He called Wilder a coward. Obviously, what he could have fought Wilder a long time ago. Now, he could have fought AJ in a rematch already, but he the one said that AJ and Hearn was playing. They didn't offer him enough money, and he walked away from that fight. That was his fault. So it's not like AJ avoided him. As for, him, like Dillian White, look, Martin Bakole has been calling him out. He hasn't responded to Martin Bakole. You see, I know that Zhang, Bakole wants to fight Zhang, and this is the way I see it. If anybody deserves a title shot, it should be Joseph Parker, not Fabio Wardley, man. To be honest with you, Joseph Parker's been, he's won his fights. They put him on the shelf. I told you guys, there's something about Joseph Parker, man. They're just not into Joseph Parker. They put him on there as a sacrificial lamb for Deontay Wilder. And as you can see, they're not building off of him to say, hey, man, look, this guy beat Wilder. He beat Zhang. Let's push it. Nope. They talk about Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois now. What happened to Parker, man? So with that being said, for Zhang has looked good in some fights. I feel like, give Zhang a shot. Look, let me tell you something about Martin Bakole. He talks a lot of shit. He acts weird, does a little weird dances and all this shit, but at the end of his fights, but the dude is dangerous, and people are not willing. See, right now, Martin Bakole is high risk, low reward. You understand what I'm saying? So for people to want to not fight him because they're like, if I lose this fight, that can kill my chances of getting a title fight. Yeah, fighters do that. Or the team would tell the fighter that, hey, look, man, you don't need this guy right now. So Martin Bakole, man, when you look at him, he doesn't look like much. Big, overweight, fat dude with a big pot belly. But the dude, hey, man, look, there's something about him that people not wanting to jump in there with him. You know what I mean? So, and it's crazy because like last month, Bob Arum did a video interview, and he was saying it was a stupid fight. The fight should never happen. He never thought it was a good idea for Jared Anderson. And I've been saying to you guys, I question his hunger, everything about him, because he says he don't want to fight for no more than 2 or 3 years, and he don't need to be champion. And all you talk about is money. So I don't see any real heart and dedication to the sport to really, master your craft. Obviously not. So with that being said, man, Bakole's going to call out names. He's going to say people, of course, because he's trying to get to, he's trying to elevate. But there's nobody right now more deserving in the heavyweight division of a title shot. If anybody's going to fight Dubois or fight the winner of Usyk, and like Dubois should get, if I don't know if he's going to stand still and wait. If he's still champion, then yeah, and he should get the winner of Fury and Usyk. But as far as who fights Dubois next, it shouldn't be no Fabio Wardley. No. Nothing against him, but it should be Joseph Parker or it should be Zhang. It should be one of those two. Let's just be real, y'all. So it is what it is, but we'll see how it goes. And as far as like Bakole, man, people don't want to get. They're not trying to jump in there with that dude, man. You see it. You don't hear anybody calling his name out. He's doing all the name calling. They don't want to fight this guy. Yeah, we know he was a glorified sparring partner, but the guy has fought and he stopped people. And after he did what he did to Jared Anderson, Jared Anderson, that was his really big step up fight. It was a step up fight for both of them, but Jared Anderson got squashed. So it is what it is. Now, as far as Anthony Joshua, we'll see what happens. And it's like I said, you have to want this, man. The fans, you can't fight for the fans. The fans can't fight for you. You have to go in there and you have to want this. You have to do this and feel confident that you're ready to go to war and leave it all in the ring. You know, he went in there and he didn't fight like he was scared. He just felt like he was unsure of himself. Like, you know, and he was overzealous to try to get Dubois out of there when he finally landed a good shot on him. And I mean, he fought like a ranked amateur, man. He just did not look like he looked. This was the worst I've ever seen AJ look. I mean, at least against Ruiz, the first fight with Ruiz, he was able to drop him, you know, and you know that's that. You know, we know what happened, but he just looked from the very first round, man. I mean, hands, like everything about that fight. So we don't know, man, what's going on with Anthony Joshua. It's just not the physicality with AJ. It's what's inside, and I just don't think that hunger and that desire, that passion is there, man. I really don't. Even if, let's say, he can win another couple of big fights and become champion again. Let's just say, if he was able to do it. It's only going to happen if he really wants it. He can't do it just for the paycheck. He can't do it just because the fans are talking shit. He can't do it for them. He has to do it for himself. So if he winds up walking away from boxing, let's say if he does, so be it. Because unless you want it, it's not going to work out for you. And the only thing going to happen is people going to look back and say, well, he tried or what he did, or people going to say, well, he never was that good anyway, he was overrated or whatever it may be. That's really the least of the worries, because it's your life and life after boxing and all that stuff that you look at. You look at what you did in your career, you are as good as you were. It's as simple as that. You're going to have fans who idolize you. You're going to have people that don't like you. You're going to have people that think you are okay. You're going to have people that think you are the best, or whatever it may be. It is what it is. And life after boxing, you know, you want to make sure that your money's right. You still have, you know, sources of income without boxing and all of that. So I'm not saying that real estate is a bad thing. Like I said, it's just the timing. You know, and you know people are going to tie it in to him not wanting to fight Dubois in the rematch. But for that matter, it could be anybody, not just a Dubois thing. He can go in there and stay sharp against anyone. And that's one of the things Eddie Hearn said. He didn't like the fact that AJ was fighting, like, got to the point he's fighting like once a year, you know, and then twice a year, then once a year. And it's like, you know, staying sharp, you got to be in it, which I agree. And this is why I said, I do not think AJ has the same passion, desire, and you know, that love for the sport like he once did. I think that he's got paid very well, and like I said, I think he still has the heart to get in there, but once he gets in there, man, he has to put it together. Anyway, the landlord is going into real estate. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.